can take charge of their health by doing their own self-examination. And if you catch it early, your prognosis for a healthy outcome is just so much greater. I hope you hear this message. I hope you act on this message. And I hope you give yourself a long, healthy life.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Over-the-Top Carb Counter.
Mr. Over-the-Top Carb Counter.
Brushing aside such follies as work and family, you wisely adopted carbo counting as your primary pastime.
I'm crazy for carbos.
From breakfast through dinner, you tirelessly record every precious carb, hoping it might all add up to your target number, 0.
Hold on to your dream now.
Was that artichoke you ate 13.5 carbs or 13.6? Better look it up while you help yourself to another package of bacon.
I like it crispy.
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, oh Count of Monte Carbo, because the only thing better than meat and potatoes is meat and meat.
Mr. Over-the-Top
Bud
Carb
Light Beer,
Counter.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Shut up and sit down.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. In-the-Car Nose Picker.
Mr. In the Car Nose Picker.
For you, the daily commute isn't simply a drive to the office. It's a hands-on exploration deep into your schnoz.
I'm going in now.
With pinpoint accuracy and sheer determination, you dig for boogers like miners dig for gold.
Hit the jackpot.
And why do you do it? 'Cause the windows are up and you think we can't see you. We can.
How you doing?
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, oh nabber of the nose nugget. We'd like to shake your hand, but you'll have to wash it first.
Mr. In the Car Nose Picker.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Common Sense New Hampshire would like to thank McGarvey's for hosting our show. They're located at 1097 Elm Street, the oldest bar in Manchester, New Hampshire. They have great food specials brought to you by Chef Mel. Monday nights is Customer Appreciation Night, where your drinks are half off. Don't forget about the award-winning karaoke 7 nights a week. McGarvey's can also be found on Facebook. Once again, they're located at 1097 Elm Street, Manchester, New Hampshire. Their phone number is 603-627-2721.
Live from McGarvey's. It's Common Sense New Hampshire. Phone number is 603-217-5400. All our social media apps are open as well, so if you want to message us there, tweet us at Common Sense NH, and we also have Facebook open as well, so you can message us or post something from Facebook as well. So sorry if I repeated myself, but really excited. A couple of things that we definitely want to mention. We want to thank McGarvey's for hosting our show. We want to thank Skype for giving us our beautiful number, 603-217-5400. That's 603-217-5400. And Spreaker, our new podcast provider. Now, so as we talked about, I know we're excited. We haven't seen each other for 2 weeks, and St. Patrick's Day happened. A lot has happened. Last week, on Monday, President Trump was here giving a speech. He hasn't been here since 2016, right? 2016, when he was doing his presidential candidacy. Yep. And he comes to New Hampshire, and when he first became president, he's calling us all kinds of names here in New Hampshire, and then he comes in here and he goes, I promise you I'm going to do something about the opiate crisis, and I'm going to give the death penalty to these drug dealers, and we need to put up the wall because the drugs are coming from the south, and the state of Massachusetts also needs to do something because all these sanctuary cities need to go, and he actually calls out Lawrence, Massachusetts, as the culprit city for the problem that we have in the Granite State.
I get my drugs from Methuen, so I don't know why.
Is he wrong though? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's where you get your heroin.
Yeah, that's Methuen. Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Is he wrong? I mean, he's president, dude. You think he's wrong? I mean,
mean,
you think the information that he gets from like the myriad law enforcement agencies is
Out of all the
is
cities
wrong.
in the U.S., Lawrence is the problem.
Yeah. No, fuck that.
Do you not think? Well, okay. So
Well, I
Lawrence.
Lawrence is the only problem.
Lawrence
Well, no,
may
I
be.
agree. I think
Lawrence
that's what
may
you-
be the hub to New Hampshire, but I mean, it's not. Obviously, I mean, they might be cooking it in Lawrence. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Like
You
you
mean
don't
to
fucking
tell
know.
me that if you go to Vegas, you ain't gonna find friggin'
This is what I know. When I went out to Colorado a couple years ago, all those people wanted to talk about was how there's this massive opioid crisis here. I was halfway across the goddamn country.
Well, that's
And
because
they're
you're from
talking
New
about,
Hampshire.
Yeah, but they're talking about. So I'd meet
They
people, and
smoke
I'd meet
weed
people.
there. They don't need anything
I would
else.
meet people, and I would say, "Hey, how's it going, man? Nice to meet you. I'm from New Hampshire." And they'd be like, "Yeah, what's up with the opioid crisis over there?" I mean, that's fucked up, man. You know what I mean?
Because we can't smoke weed legally here
I'm not
without
saying-
fucking
right,
bullshit.
I'm not saying there isn't an opioid crisis elsewhere in the country, but when someone hears New England and their mind immediately goes to that, I mean, it's undeniable.
Don't forget, too, that's all you're seeing on the news right now. Is
Right. Well, yeah, because
so and so overdosed, and
Right.
so and so overdosed,
Right.
and this person and that person, and
Right.
that's all you're seeing on the news. You're not seeing anything else on the freaking news.
Well,
All right, so let's
so-
if you don't mind, let's get into what President Trump has said. He wants to solve this problem.
His proposal.
He says death penalties to these drug dealers. We need to do something. We need to do something in Massachusetts. Is it going to work? I don't
If
know.
you get caught with a pound of weed, you're going to die for that?
That's what. And see,
No, it's not. See, weed is not an opiate.
Right.
Weed is not an opiate. It's different. It's
So
it's
I've heard
the other drugs.
I've heard that since he's modified it to like specifically be more like he's toned down the sort of blanket statement that all drug dealers whatever.
well, that's one of the things that I see is that he talks before he has all the information.
Well,
So-
Well, I think he had this information before he
but
before he
he's a
came.
celebrity
But
president. That's what he does.
makes this big statement about all these drug dealers are going to die. Well, okay, but you've got these low life drug dealers that
Right. But listen,
aren't
if he's giving a
necessarily,
speech, if he's giving
you
a
know-
speech that's specifically focused on opioids, okay, and he makes a comment that these drug dealers should be given the death penalty, you can't take that sentence that drug dealers should get the death penalty and take it out of context and say, oh, so he's talking about killing fucking people who have a pound of marijuana. You know what I mean? Like, it's context. He's specifically referring to in the speech or in the full context of what he's talking about. He's talking about opioids. You know what I mean? And frankly, I mean.
But people don't look at it that way. They said drug dealers.
Yeah, because they just want to pick out a sentence to maximize the impact, right? So they want to pick out that sentence and say, "Oh my God!" Like he's saying all drug dealers should be killed, and that's easy for anyone else to say. Oh well, like. Fuck, man! If you got an 8-ball of coke on you, like, should you get murdered? Should the state sanction a murder on you? No, obviously not. But again, it's context. He's talking about opioids, and quite frankly, I mean, listen. If you know anybody that's an EMT, if you know anyone that's an ER nurse, if you know anyone that's fucking
First responder.
yeah, exactly. That's in the muck and mire of this shit right now, and even the people who are addicts themselves would tell you that they support this idea that these fucking drug dealers should be given the death penalty. So I mean,
from my perspective, this is the first time I agree with President Trump. Everything else, maybe
that's huge.
But this is the first time that I agree with
What are you
President Trump.
agreeing with him with?
I agree. Well, the death penalty to these drug dealers that sell
Yeah,
that
but
lethal dose of fentanyl.
it's such a big umbrella, drug dealer. What if
But
you
it's not.
sell Oxycontin
But it's not.
or ibuprofen or whatever.
no.
I mean,
But-
or
okay.
that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I don't think
if
they're
I
trying to
said to
kill
you-
pharmacists.
All right,
I don't think they're
yeah.
trying to bring the death
know?
penalty on pharmacists.
How about if I said to you, an opiate drug dealer? Would that be better?
Yeah, someone who's dealing heroin, dude.
Okay.
Someone who gets bagged like 80 bags of heroin. Yeah, obviously, yeah.
All right, what
you
if
know
he's
I mean?
dealing one bag of heroin?
There are
He dies?
Well, okay, so
there are
Maybe,
certain
maybe he sold
countries.
79 before he got busted with that one bag. You know
Yeah.
what I
There
mean?
are certain countries that have this particular law that if you sell something that is illegal and it's going to kill somebody and it's an opiate type of drug, you're going to die or you're going to prison for
Well,
life.
you need to get
and
rid
you know
of-
what? These countries do not have an opiate crisis like we do. Plain and simple. I don't know.
Most of them are
Let's
going to
break
be.
down.
I mean,
Let's
I don't
break
know.
down the things that kill people: cancer, alcohol, smoking, that male thing, that cancer you get in the thing. What are they?
Not cancer.
Whatever.
testicular cancer.
But I'm just saying, you know,
You can't fucking.
these things kill more people than
Yeah, but you
somebody
can't,
shooting up his.
You can't give the death penalty to cancer, dude.
Why can't you give the death
We would
penalty
love
to big tobacco? They're killing everybody.
Well, they've been sued for hundreds of trillions of
Why
dollars.
can't we just
over
kill
the-
them?
Well, yeah.
Just line them up in an electric chair and just say, you guys are selling a product
All-
that kills people.
all of big tobacco. I mean, come on now. I mean, you know,
Budweiser, Jack Daniels.
you want to
Jameson.
kill? You want to kill?
well,
Budweiser?
No.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
might want to
saying.
rein this.
I'm just
Here-
saying.
Okay,
that's
you're
how
bringing up
this big
Hold on one
window.
second. You're bringing up a good point, though. Okay, here's the thing: we have a bureau, we have a division called the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms.
Wait,
Okay,
who are they?
the alcohol and the tobacco
That run
are
this country.
regulated.
I forgot. These guys run the country.
These
Sorry.
particular products are regulated by the government, so that's why you're never going to see that problem. Well, we should just kill these tobacco people and these tobacco producing states and these companies that make these cigarettes and everything, and we should all kill them. But you know what? We can't because they are regulated. They're under the government, and that's where they have that little blanket of security, if you will. Being
It's a
protected.
piece of
It's the same
paper.
thing with
That's
alcohol
all
and
it
beer.
is. It's a piece of
But you know what?
fucking
You know how many?
paper.
But you know what? It's a low death rate, but there's a lot of people that die from alcoholism as well, alcohol disease, and also from alcohol poisoning. But we don't talk about that either,
We don't.
unless we,
More people are dying from the shit
awareness
that
to it.
everyday shit than
Okay.
opioid fucking
So,
shit.
Here's my thing behind what Trump said is that he's going to kill the dealers of opiates. Okay, great. But if you've got somebody who is that down in the dumps with it and has gotten to the point where they don't know their limit and is going to die, you're going to kill the person that provided it to them. But you've also got, at the same time, you've got all these people that are leaving bars drunk, driving, killing people. They should be getting the death penalty too.
You think
But-
drunk drivers should
But
get the death
I'm
penalty?
at the bar. I am totally fucked up. I am beyond. I am Sean drunk. I'm just going to say Sean drunk. And Craig comes in and says, Mike, you're getting another shot. That one shot is going to kill me. He doesn't know it. I don't know it. But I'm doing it because he's my best friend. Bam. I'm dead.
Right. Here's the difference between that shot and that opiate. That particular shot is legal. That opiate is not.
Right.
Sorry. There's the difference.
There's
And
a
you
big-
know what? And
There's a big part of me that sort of wants to almost always defer to Darwin's sort of law on this shit, and I mean it's insensitive. Okay, it's an insensitive position.
I think I'm with
but,
you.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, listen, you know, it's more of a libertarian sort of perspective, right? So the libertarian perspective would be stop with making everything illegal and let fucking people do what they want to do. And if people want to shoot up to the point where they're going to fucking kill themselves, let them shoot up to the point where they kill themselves.
Yeah, but
because
it-
we're thinning the herd at that point.
But
you know
it
what I mean?
affects our
Right.
first responders because they're showing up at
Right.
these train
Oh, yeah.
wrecks and they
Yeah.
have to wear chemical suits, man.
Exactly right. No, exactly. And,
So
but
it's-
I don't know.
That's why my Montana thing.
Here's
should
the deal.
happen, I'm
On the
telling
one
you.
hand, Bernie, I'm with you. I support. On the one hand, I support what Trump says about making, at the very least, making the consequence for being someone who deals opiates.
It has to be
greater,
worded
right?
correctly.
Right.
Yeah,
Making,
I
making,
agree.
making
Oh,
the
yeah.
consequences greater. I support that. But the truth of the matter is, I mean, none of us are young and stupid, right? We've all seen this shit, okay? So that we all know, all four of us right now know, and anyone listening should know that the truth is, you can fucking pick some dude up off the street for selling opioids, and you could tell him, hey, listen, you're going to get the death penalty, and it don't fucking matter. Within hours, there's someone that's going to take that person's place
yeah.
because they're making money, and that other person's going to